Welcome one, welcome all. This is Backwards Star Galactica, the show where we watch Battlestar Galactica for the first time, but get this, we're watching it backwards. I'm Jesse, national television personality McGrath, and that there is Fat, probably has a credit, Waboo.
So this is it now. This is life for me. I gotta listen to this the whole damn time.
Yeah, well, it is my life, so therefore it is also your life. I mean, you know, this is part of our shared existence.
The Battlestar shared universe.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cool.
Welcome to the show, everyone.
Yeah, welcome. Unfinished Bitness is what this episode is called.
Season 3, episode 9.
We're getting through it. We're almost halfway done.
Yeah, it's honestly so like it's sort of upsetting.
Who thought?
Yeah, nobody thought. It's upsetting that we are almost halfway done, and also that we are only almost halfway done. Like, we have so much
and like I
in front of us.
Not that good at understanding the show. Like, we know a lot of characters' names. Like, that's a big improvement.
Do we? Because I do feel like
we know more than when we started.
Okay, good point, I guess. But I feel like I know a lot of nicknames that we've given them that don't even make a whole bunch of sense.
Sure.
Or really on the nose, like Eye Patch. I don't know that we even are too good at names, but sure. This episode is buck fucking wild. I'm so excited.
My favorite episode for sure.
Without a doubt.
A, in terms of, like, it was so funny at certain parts, and B, I think it was actually the best episode that we've seen, like, in terms of TV shows go. Oop, that was not a sentence, but...
No, I get what you're saying. No, I agree for so many reasons.
So good.
So, before we even get into anything, Will Scoville, we've mentioned before, fan of the show, and show fan of him.
Goodest boy.
He mentioned something, because he's watched Battlestar before. And he mentioned, like, an episode, and he told me nothing about it, but he said, there's an episode that is complete nonsense, and I can't wait for you guys to get to it. And he hasn't alerted me yet. No, I don't know, because he's not told me, like, oh, it's season whatever, episode whatever. Right. It has to be this, right? Like, this was...
I don't know.
It has to be.
I don't know. The premise of this episode is that for some reason on the Battlestar there's a big-ass boxing ring.
It's a fight club, dog. Yes. You're dealing with a bona fide fight club.
It's a fucking fight club. And the way it works is, like, if you put your dog tag in this little bowl, anyone can just challenge you to a boxing match at any time.
I love it. It's Fight Club. And also everyone is there. And when we say everyone, it's not like everyone's there. Like, the president...
Who's flying the ship?
Is there... Right. Like, there is a moment where the only... Like, what's his name? What's his name? Fucking Frankfurt?
You're talking about Figursky? My main dude, Figursky?
Figursky walks up and is like, hey, I'm the only person down there. And at which point Galen, chief engineer, is like, nah, take the day off.
Yeah.
Like, what?
So fun, though. Everyone just punching. So my shit list is none other than Mr. Lee. Oh, boy. Okay. In heaven was he on the shit list this week. He is so annoying to me. He's always upset. He's always upset at all times. And his like, drunk acting consistently so bad.
Yeah, I'll agree to that.
I can't believe it. His whole thing is he's just, like, mad at Starbuck like he always is every single day of his life. And he's just, like, taking it out on everybody in the ring.
See, but we're so...
he also throws a punch at her outside the ring, which is about as big a shitless thing as you could do.
Man, I couldn't disagree with you more, but I'll save it. I'll save my...
Oh, God. Yeah, I couldn't stand him. And my other shit list was no stranger to the shit list, Tub Lord.
Okay, yeah, Def.
He's annoying as always, but there's a line, there's a flashback, there's a line that Tub Lord had, which was hilarious to me, which is, like, they're talking about, he's telling a story about, like, something that obviously happened to him in his pyramid shooting days.
Right.
And the only thing, it's like one of those things where we just jump in on, like, the punchline of it's the story, and the only thing that he says is, like, "Oof," and they came back to the locker room with 2 handcuffs and a set of straws.
Yeah, and everyone goes buck wild. It's a great joke.
Classic funny ass Tub Lord.
Great. Who's your leaderboard?
I had a lot of leaderboards.
Yep.
I had a lot of leaderboards. One, I'm gonna throw ugly little hot dog boy a bone this week.
Yeah, baby.
Because he challenges Starbuck to a to a boxing match, which is a death trap, obviously. Who in the world thinks he would win that?
Yes.
He also lands a punch on her at one point, so I'll give him that. I'm gonna give Starbuck a leaderboard for then immediately just a TKO in about 35 seconds of hot dog.
Dismantling him. I think she punches him when he's on the ground.
He also
which is an
falls
interesting
on the ground
part of this Fight Club is that
move.
There's a boxing ring and everyone is wearing gloves and mouthpieces, so it seems very official. And there's a ref, but there's also like a few instances of like kicking.
No, it's like, barely a ref. It's just Eye Patch like doing his little Bryan Cranston face.
Eye Patch wearing just a tank top is the ref, and
which,
it's so
if I
good.
may digress, he doesn't lose his eye and does practically nothing in this episode. So I do not understand why he's met with applause in the next episode. He didn't do anything in this episode.
I love it.
So I don't understand that at all. But yeah, so Starbuck knocks Hot Dog out so fast, but the way Hot Dog falls down, he doesn't move. It looks like he's dead.
Yeah, he does look as if he's been killed.
Basically, like Apollo Creed style, kills him in the ring.
Yes.
I'm gonna give Adama has got to get some leaderboard for this episode because he doesn't want to participate, and then he gets in there, calls Galen fat.
He calls him fat and lazy. You fat lazy bastard.
And then he just George McFly style knocks him out immediately.
Yes.
And then pretty much beats the shit out of Galen until he I don't know, gives up or whatever. For a while Galen doesn't even get in one punch.
Right.
And then I'm gonna give Prez some leaderboard because she has some sick boxing knowledge.
Yeah,
yeah.
I forgot about that.
She's like, do you really have to do this? Do you really have to do this? And he's like, yes, I do. And she's like, okay, well, he's coming in with the jab, so make sure you stay on your feet. And she has a bunch of legit advice.
Made no sense.
Oh, and also Adama in the flashback has a big ass mustache, and that's another reason for it.
Okay, so my leaderboard actually, I'm gonna start it off with just. Well, I'm going to give you a leaderboard and a shit list. Shit list, Adama. Because I agree with everything you said, except for that he turns the whole boxing fun.
I know. I didn't like that part, but he was just... It was cool to watch him beat the shit out of Galen, so I couldn't take him off the leaderboard.
Yeah, but he turns it into a lesson.
I know. It's classic dad stuff.
Yes, and he says when he walks in, he's like, we got to stay out of it. Like, it's people blowing off steam. They need it. And then he challenges Galen to this fight, and it's really fun and good. And then at the end, he's like, and that's why you always... Also very convoluted. I have no idea what message.
Yeah, it was bananas.
It's like, you always have to fight even when it's a friend, and never... I gave you guys breaks, and I shouldn't have given you breaks. And it's cut with flashbacks of, Galen very nicely asking for time off the Battlestar.
Which he does not get.
Which he does not get, and then he's like, maybe it'll be good to raise the kid on the Battlestar.
Because there's a doctor.
Yes, Galen being very good. Yeah, which was so funny to me. It'll be good to raise the kid on the Battlestar because of the sick bay. They don't have hospitals on your Battlestar.
And who's the medical staff? We got Hodgman, and we got world's shittiest doctor.
Yeah, fucking asshole. But while Adama does get shitless for ruining all the fun, his mustache gets a permanent leaderboard. It's always there because if they drop that shit on us like it's nothing. It's nothing.
I physically shot across the room like Marty McFly when he hits the guitar.
Jesus,
that mustache was bananas.
It was beautiful, and he kind of has like a feathery mullet too. Holy shit!
Yeah, he does. Yeah, young Adama. Oof, hottie or a naughty? I'm gonna say a hottie. Know what I'm saying?
Big time.
Big time.
So, Adama gets shitless for me. I'm giving shitless to Starbuck because I feel like we learned here, because Starbuck and Lee have this will they won't they, but whatever the opposite of a will they won't they is, because they
it's always will they. It's will they period won't they period.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And we learned that it's her fault. Her and Lee bangarang, and they're both
I mean, it is kind of her fault because he was gonna go for her permanently. But then they've been hooking up in the past, that wasn't the first time they hooked up.
I know, it just feels like I don't get why.
I mean, I think they're both equally the worst in this situation.
I understand Lee's frustration. He was like, we're going to break up with our significant others. I love you. We're going to do it. And then she was like, yeah, okay, I'm on board with that. And then, like, I understand his frustration at least. I don't get why she's mad at him all the time. Like, in this episode, she's like...
I don't think she was too mad at me. Mad at me.
She's very mad at you.
Yeah, super mad at me. I don't think she was too mad at him because I feel like she was enjoying herself more in this fight until the end. Like, she's the one that's, like, smiling. I mean, maybe that's just her thing. But, like, Leah's so fucking serious all the time. And I think, like, at first... Even though she won't admit it to herself, she just wants to do it because it's fun.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Here's my take on the Starbuck versus Lee thing. I feel like Starbuck is a lot more transparent all the time because she's always like, I kind of want both of you. Like, she doesn't really beat around the bush on that one. She kind of wants Tublord and Lee. And Lee's always like, I only want you, Starbuck. And then when she breaks up with him, he turns back to Dean. He's like, I only want you. And he's just lying about it the whole time.
Right. I think we can both agree that they're both shitty to the person there. Like, this episode, like, opens
Well, I mean, they're
with,
both constantly cheating on their significant other, so, yeah, it's not great.
And Lee's just straight lying and is like, no, I love you, even though he doesn't. And Starbuck is like, I'm still trying to figure things out, which is code for, like, I'd like to fuck 2 people, please.
Right. I just hate, like, I wish Lee would just, like, break up with D. And I hate that their names rhyme. Oof.
Yeah. It's
makes
real
me feel
bad.
like an idiot every time I talk about it.
Yeah, it's bad. And it's the only, like, how did we get the only 2 people we don't have fucking nicknames for and their names rhyme?
Did you notice that Starbuck referred to this boxing match as the dance?
Yeah, I did. I didn't like it.
Before she went over, she was like, I'm late to the dance.
Yeah.
I thought she was actually going to a dance.
Like a gala.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, Battlestar Gala. But in terms of the rest of my leaderboard, I'm in line with you. I'm going to give one to Galen for basically hitting the switch and being like, oh, you want to fight, old man? And then, like, beating this shit.
And then,
like,
pretty much, like, if he kept going, would have killed him.
Yeah, and it's good. That was a great time to remember that Galen's a robot. Mm-hmm. That was a super fun time that, like, me and you, we for once have the drop on this show, and that is that, like, a robot just beat the shit out of a human.
Yeah, which, like, they can do, because remember when Caprica just, like, punches somebody to death with one punch that one time?
Yes, yeah.
Not a lot of her. Only a minute of Gaius.
Yeah, and being, like, a cheese dick politician. That might be, like... Have we seen President Gaius at all?
No, I don't think so. And I also I want to give just like a little special shout out, neither leaderboard nor shit list, to Gata, who like sees somebody off screen that he's so excited to talk to that he practically skips away, and then as soon as he leaves, he's like apologizing, and then the president's like, I thought he would never leave.
Yeah, Gata's a little twerp in this. He's got his little glass of wine. So just so y'all understand what we're doing here, what we're talking about, it's like the fight scene is in the present, and it's cut with like this day of what looks to be like a groundbreaking ceremony that Gaius is putting on.
Yeah, before the planet was destroyed.
Right. And I also want to point out that at one point we get a different flashback that is only 18 months ago, where Adama still has his mustache. So, like, are we on Adama mustache watch? Like, is there a possibility that we will get...
This show better start with Adama mustache.
Oh my god!
Or I will be very upset. Before we get into to sponsor, I just want to talk about this flashback for a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
It's like it's like a groundbreaking ceremony, but then sort of just becomes like Coachella because it looks like Gaius is like speaking from like a halfway set up music stage. They're in the middle of the desert. The party itself makes no sense.
You know what it reminds me of? The whole thing is like in Arrested Development, like the housing development, where it's like, we're gonna build a bunch of shit here in the middle of this desert. Like, it's exactly that.
Absolutely. They're all drunk as fuck the whole time. All of them are smoking cigars. Every character is smoking a cigar.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And then the music that's playing is Irish jig music.
It sounded like a Ren Fair.
It is a literal GarageBand loop that I have used before. And it's later at night. It's hours later. The thing is dark, and it's the exact same song still playing.
It's still the
for like
loop.
8 hours, it's still doing that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like a horrible, horrible Coachella.
And at one point it cuts to them dancing, and they are doing like Renaissance style, like swap your partners, like dancing. It was so weird.
So I'm giving that whole party Looney Bird of the Week.
Big thumbs down as far as parties go. I guess like people are drunk as hell, so that's cool. But Jesus Christ! Oh, was this horns?
Yeah.
What is that? Was that a horn?
Who there?
We got Horn here?
Hello? Who is it?
It's Horns. Oh, wait, I mean, it's sponsor. This week, we are so delighted to bring you our presenting sponsor, a fresh haircut.
Oh!
Yes, a fresh haircut. I love a fresh haircut. I used to get a little autobiography here. I used to get very bad haircuts because I went to very bad haircut places. Like I just went to Supercuts or whatever. And now I'm a grown man and I treat myself like a grown fucking man and I go to a fancy salon and boy, I love a goddamn fresh haircut more than anything.
Do you get shaved?
I don't get a shave. You know I have a big beard.
That's right. You have a gigantic beard, so that. But still, do you just
but
like just kind of like a snippy?
They trim down the sides of my beard a little bit so that it's not as bushy and brambly, and I get the little the curlies, the little curly that the Hasidics have. That thing.
Yeah, payas. We call it payas.
Yes, I get the payas going pretty early on in my hair cycle, so they trim those back. They cut those sons of bitches back. But you know what I love is the neck, the fucking freshly buzzed neck, which I guess I could just do on my own. But geezers, cripes, it's good. And the place that I go to gives you a nice little wash and shampoo before and after, and the lady massages my head, massages my temples and whatnot.
Oh, sure.
It's good. Oh man,
I used to go to a place where they had this hand massager that they attached to the back of their hand, like a little Iron Man Tony Stark situation, and then they just used their hands to massage you.
Oh,
but their hands were vibrating. It was hot shit.
Jeez, what? You turned into a different man just now. Holy!
I transformed.
You're just thinking about that head massage. I get it.
Oof.
It revs me up, baby. It gets me going. And I don't mean it in a sexual way. I mean it just like it vibrates my bones. It feels like my skeleton wants to jump right out of my skin.
My daddy cuts my hair. Did you know that? Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you said it as soon as I was talking about it being sexual.
Yeah, does
he shampoo it?
No, he doesn't fucking shampoo it. He doesn't have like a little custom sink or anything. I shampoo my own hair. I'm almost 30 years old. But
damn, you old as fuck.
Try as I might, I can't cut my own hair. So he has some barber scissors and it's free.
So you sort of do the opposite thing that I do. Do you enjoy your father's haircuts? I mean, obviously you enjoy maybe the father-son time of you and Rick, but
I enjoy the free haircut, and he does what to do. Just tell him, hey, the huge, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, sure. Does he put how many?
And you should see all the people that are just sitting in his house, just like talking shit, like a classic barbershop.
Right. So this is my thing is like because your dad is a goofball. We all know it.
It's common knowledge.
Does he throw a fucking tarp around you or a towel around you and like try and shoot the shit a little bit? Hey, been a while.
Yeah. No, we cut that all out. No need for that. We sit in silence.
Oh, smart. You just quietly.
All the lights are out. I don't know how he cuts the hair, but he can see in the dark.
Like a Daredevil situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he can hear your hair's heartbeat. So your thing is dumb, but my thing is better.
Go on.
I just can't stress enough what a big life improvement. It's hard for me to talk about this to you because you're doing the fucking opposite thing that I'm saying, but I can't stress enough how much of a life improvement it has been. I used to think that people that paid like, I'm not going to tell you how much I pay for my haircut because my hair looks dumb all the time anyways. Like I don't ever think my hair looks good, but I used to think that people paid like upwards of $40 for a haircut. It was just like, why are you doing that? What a waste of money. And then I went home and like played my Xbox and like fucking like ate a bunch of dumb snacks I bought that I didn't need. Everything I do is a waste of money. Why wouldn't I do this one self-care thing like once a month? And it's so great. You walk in and they take your coat. Mm-hmm. I bet your dad doesn't even take your fucking coat. You just throw it on the couch.
Well, I don't need a coat. You ever think of that? You fucking idiot.
I fucking hate you. I've never needed a coat in my fucking life.
I would rather have a day job than be a Pokemon master.
Han Solo is clearly more attractive than Indiana Jones.
I would take the Star Wars trilogy over the Matrix trilogy any time.
The Legend of Zelda vs. Super Mario. Who's better in bed, Jafar or Gaston? And would Thanos masturbate with the Infinity Gauntlet or not? Every week, Nerd Rage The Great Debates brings you the funniest comics, writers, and podcasters to settle some of geekdom's most divisive topics. Find us on Spotify or wherever you find podcasts.
Guess what? Wiki Peaks, Wiki Peaks. Let's take a look at these Wiki Peaks.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I got a Wiki Peaks, a hot, fresh Wiki Peaks for you on this.
Okay. All right.
So something that is, I think, one of the best things about Wikipedia is not just articles about like real stuff, but lists. They have incredible lists on Wikipedia.
Agreed, yes.
So this week for Wiki Peaks, I would like to direct your attention to the list of animals with fraudulent diplomas. There's so many.
Explain what that means.
So there's a bunch of animals, and they all have fraudulent diplomas from colleges. One is a hypnotherapist. There's a cat that can hypnotize you. In other words, his name is Dr. Zoe Katz. He's from
Well,
Germany.
he's not a doctor because he's clearly been listed as fraudulent.
She is from Germany. Zoe the house cat. We also have, of course, Colby Nolan, the house cat who was awarded an MBA in 2004 by Trinity Southern University. Once this was found out, that university were assessed penalties of $100,000. So, like, the thing that happens is lots of people use their animals to just show how full of shit lots of universities are. And then our university's always like, well, we didn't know that they were a cat.
But how? But I don't understand.
Just like online colleges. They're not going to class in a little coat, little pair of shoes.
Well, they don't need a coat.
Taking the test.
Right? Nobody needs a coat.
Well, not me.
I'm looking at this list. I pulled this up. I would like to draw your attention to the dog Sassafras Herbert.
Yeah, incredible name. Second only to Maxwell Sniffing Well.
Yeah, in 1984, Time magazine reported that Sassafras, a female poodle belonging to a New York physician, had received a diploma from the American Association of Nutrition and Dietary Consultants. Her owner had bought the diploma for $50 to demonstrate that, quote, something that looks like a diploma doesn't mean that somebody has responsible training.
Woof.
Cool point. Who are you doing that for?
Got him! Classic Sassafras taking down the system.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, this was a great article. I think you should, at your leisure, everyone out there, just go dip into the list of animals with fraudulent diplomas.
Oh,
What's so great is a lot of them just have one name, because you don't give your animal a last name unless you're some kind of crazy serial killer. So Pete's got one. Pete is a very funny name for a dog.
Well, isn't that the name of the dog from it's Goofy, right? Like Goofy Dog?
Oh yeah, well that's not a real dog. He's a cartoon.
Oh.
Yeah. And he's also Razul, head of the palace guard.
Okay.
So yeah. That's my Wiki Peaks for this day.
Oh man. Yeah, did you look at Oreo Collins?
Yeah, of course I looked at Oreo Collins. He's a tuxedo cat, which I did not know is what that was called. I thought that's just what I called them.
Received a diploma from Jefferson High School online in 2009, although her age was misrepresented in order to qualify. Oh, just her age then?
Yeah. No, that's it. Too old. So yeah, good Wiki Peaks, eh?
Oh, what a transition. Yes, loved it.
Yeah.
Back to the episode. Here we go. Ready, go. Back to the episode now. Go.
Oh, how fast do I have to do it?
You're already moving 20 miles an hour and the plane's about to drop you, and you got to start moving your legs really quick or else you're going to hit the ground right away and fall.
Okay, so this episode's about a boxing match. It starts off with Lee and Hilo boxing each other.
Oh, you just ate shit. You ate shit hard and you're dead.
Oh, damn it. I don't see any scenario where Hilo and Lee where Hilo would lose to Lee.
Yeah, Hilo looks like a boxer.
He's gigantic.
Yeah, and he's got like a big flat boxer's nose, and
That's for sure.
He's massive.
I kind of forgot one of small leaderboard. When Adama gets in the ring, there's like one guy in the background, one lone guy that goes, "Yeah,
that guy is
Nobody
my
else
hero
does it.
for sure."
Yeah, that guy's leaderboard. Other thing about this boxing match is people are betting with money. What's
money for Battlestar?
What do you do with money? Well, I wasn't gonna say what's money because I know what money is, but what's Galactica money? What's space money? Let's talk about space money for a long time.
Oh, for a long time, sure, yes. No, space money. No, I'm glad you brought this up finally.
Yeah, what do you do with money on the Galactica?
Well, you bet it on fights. Number one. You use it to buy, allegedly, the last toothpaste until you find out that there are actually, like, hundreds of more tubes of toothpaste just milling about.
Right, okay. So you managed to talk about toothpaste in this episode.
I just think that... Look, we're not going to get into it.
Good.
You pay your shitty doctor bills. Isn't it weird that shitty doctor is, like, not just helping here, but he's, like, into it? Like, hey, shitty doctor, your job is to be looking out for the health of these people. And he calls the fight between Lee and Hilo and doesn't call the fight between Galen and stops the Hilo fight.
Kills Adama. I also love in that fight. It was so funny that like nobody wants Galen to win that match because when Adama does well, they cheer, and when Galen does well, everyone goes silent.
Well, because they're afraid he's gonna kill him. Like, let's not. We're kind of glossing over the fact that Adama is an old man. Adama old man, and Galen young robot. Adama old man, Galen young robot. You
better knock this shit off.
Why Galen fight old man? Galen robot.
Don't love like caveman thing that you're doing now. Take that character and put him in the garbage.
But for real, of course they're rooting for you. Can't, and like aside from the fact that Adama's like the man in control, you can't root for a young person to beat the shit out of, and he's bleeding so much. Adama by the end of the fight is covered in blood.
Covered in blood with no seeming like sources of the blood. I couldn't really figure out where it was coming from. It's like he splashed his face with blood.
It's coming out of his pores.
Ooh,
it's just
well, you know he's got them pores. And
okay.
The last thing I would like to draw your attention to,
please,
is like in the flashback, Starbuck and Tublord are not married yet. And then like everyone goes to bed, and then Lee and Starbuck go out in the woods and they bang, and then Lee starts screaming at the top of his lungs, "I love Kara Thrace." And then Kara is like, she also talks in third person for some reason.
Yeah.
She doesn't go, "I love Lee." She goes, "Starbuck loves Lee." Maybe that's like, I don't know, some sort of good writing where she's distancing herself or something. But no, how did nobody hear that?
Well, yeah, I don't know.
How far away how many miles into the desert do they walk for this?
My guess is that just everyone was so shithoused. Like before that, they established that stupid Tublord is literally like asleep under a table. And
we didn't talk about that. Tublord.
Yeah, he's just
Lee makes a "you drank him under the table" joke, but Tublord is literally fucking passed down face first underneath the table. This groundbreaking ceremony got lit.
Yeah, no, it was. You compared it to Coachella, but like I feel like I've walked away from music festivals and not seen like every single person that was in attendance drunk on the floor.
No one moved him. Like, imagine if you were like at an outdoor event and your friend was drunk on the floor underneath the table. Would you just like go to bed?
Yeah. Oh no. What I would do is go fuck. It would be my significant other, and instead I would just leave them there to potentially die, choke on their own vomit, and also fuck someone else.
Get eaten by the woodland creatures.
By all the woodins.
And Hot Dog's there. Stock guys just slurp up his memories.
Just no, we can't do this again. I think
I'm just saying, you got to be careful.
I think that's probably gonna do it for us. This was. I just want to say we probably don't have many listeners. End of sentence. But also we probably don't have many listeners that haven't seen Battlestar Galactica before, because why would you? But go watch season 3, episode 9. Honestly. It's even without all of the context, it's still pretty funny to watch like stupid Hot Dog get the shit kicked out of him. an old man get beaten up and then ruin everybody's party fun by
It
trying to put a
episode.
message
Like,
in it.
I want to say this was a good episode, though. Like, I thought it was well made. I thought the music was really good, except for the Irish jig garage band loop. I enjoyed this episode thoroughly.
Yeah, no, it was good.
And you get to see Hot Dog get punched in the damn head.
And this was definitely the best Lee and Starbuck episode, like in terms of like us
For
learning
sure.
more
I don't
about
understand
their...
like why this isn't in the final season. Like, this is an episode I would have expected to see towards the end of the show because it was that good, and it like really. The fourth season is so little about Lee and Starbuck that we didn't even realize that was one of the central things of this whole fucking show.
Right.
Is the love story between them two.
It seems like it should be in the last season or the first season. Like, we're going to use this episode to establish this history between the two of them.
Totally.
It is weirdly placed, but this whole season has been weird. Like, I guess this season is so strange because it doesn't seem like they know what to do, even though they have a massive plot line. It's like they only came up with the put Gaius on trial plot line and just had no other ideas. So this was another bottle episode. I feel like in the last season we got no episodes that were like self-contained, and this is like the fourth one we've gotten this season.
This is like at a time in TV though, you have to remember when there was a show, it was like you got to do 22 episodes.
Right, true.
And like no show could realistically have one story arc that stretches over 22 episodes without being stupid.
Yeah.
So like this is like what they had to do. They had to write like, that's why shows like Lost were rare, where it was like, I can't believe that this is one continuing thing, because they almost every show had to be like, you got to write some bunch of bullshit in the middle, and half of the season is story related.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we don't have to do that shit anymore. And now dramas are like 10, 13 episodes each.
Oh, man. I get rock hard for that, honestly.
Yeah, so I guess that'll do it.
Yep.
Thanks for listening in.
Yeah,
Do us a favor. You like the show? Tell someone about it. Go outside. Just start shouting it like the way Lee would shout in the desert. Mm-hmm. Leave us a review on iTunes.
Please.
You could just say, we already wrote your review for you last time, but here, just say, best Battlestar Galactica podcast of all time. Check, please.
It's probably not even a lie. How about this one? I listened to this. That's all you got to write.
Yeah.
Don't matter. That shit don't even matter.
You done saying that?
So anyways, thanks to Adam Faye for the art.
Yeah.
Thanks to Bad Todd for the music. And tune in next week for us to give you Mike's phone number. Bye.
Bye.